health are you doing, sir? Just eating a candy bar.
Good day, Colonel.
Oh, good day.
Mr. Collins is expecting you.
Thank you.
What time was this? Oh, just a few minutes ago.
Ah, Colonel Ross, good morning.
Good morning.
Please sign the register as usual.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Having a little excitement here this morning, eh, Collins?
Not the sort of excitement we like, I fear. A hold-up, sir.
Are you serious?
Yes. They made off with the Allied Dairies payroll. Over £20,000.
Good heavens. Shocking. Shocking. Oh, by the way, I thought Saturday night's get-together at the boys' club went really well. Yes, splendid attendance. I really think that we're beginning to achieve something down there.
Largely due to you, sir.
Oh, you pull your weight as well, Collins. Oh. Thank you.
Here, and today here. Making the third payroll hold-up in a month. The commissioner's absolutely hopping mad, I can tell you.
Most amazing, and all executed in the same manner.
Exactly. Planned to the last detail like a military operation.
What is comparison?
Well, they seem to have their intelligence service, and let me tell you, their information's perfect. Everything planned to a split second. Then there's a typical diversion tactic.
Would you explain that, please?
The chap who does the actual hold-up carries an identical bag to that used by the bank messenger. He knocks the bank messenger out with a judo cut, shoves the dummy bag into the hands of the nearest passerby, and makes a run for it.
I imagine unhappy passerby must find himself in a highly embarrassing situation.
Precisely. And by the time they sorted out his story, the thief's away.
Most intriguing problem, Inspector.
Intriguing enough to interest you, Charlie. We could use your help.
Assignment is most tempting, Inspector, but first priority is for vacation with number one son, who unfortunately is now 10 minutes late. Inspector Marlowe? You have? We'll send them in. They picked up a couple of suspects on today's holdup.
Pop, tell him I didn't do anything. I was just standing there.
Most remarkable but embarrassing coincidence, Inspector. Evidently, number one son was unfortunate passerby we were just talking about.
He shoved the bag into my hands. I didn't even have any time to...
Let him go, Sergeant.
Your ability to be in wrong place at right time is unbelievable. Also, you are late for lunch.
So far, the only thing they found out about that boy they pulled in's his name.
And that is?
Bill Shaw. Comes from a working-class family in Shoreditch. Lives with his father, a widower. No previous record.
And father, he has record?
No, and well-respected locally. Why don't you change your mind, Charlie?
If Pop won't, I sure like to help, Inspector.
Well, now, Inspector, that changes everything. I have no other choice but to accept assignment because of number one son's generous offer.
Pop really doesn't mean it. He knows I'm learning fast. Don't you, Pop?
Oh, of course. Now, Inspector, I would appreciate address of Bill Shaw and also of his respected father.
He's a good home, Mr. Chan. Not fancy, maybe, but it's paid for. And if ever he wanted a couple of pounds, he'd only to ask.
Tell me, Mr. Shaw, your son had many friends?
Oh, kids of his own age at the St. Mark's Settlement Club on Lake Street. Hardly missed a day there.
Did you visit club also?
Dropped in a couple of times to meet the Colonel, yes. Mr. Chan, I don't get it. Why did Bill do this?
It is a great pity, Mr. Shaw, but I'm afraid sometimes youthful heart is closed book to adult mind.
If Mum had been alive, it would have broken her heart.
Please, now, would you tell me about the Colonel?
Colonel Ross, chairman of the settlement committee, and a first-class bloke he is, too. Used to be in the commandos.
Your son went dancing, had girlfriends?
Oh, nothing serious. Believed in keeping himself fit, did Bill. Didn't smoke or drink. Took after the Colonel. Even tried to get in the army once.
Oh, what happened?
Bad eyesight. They'd have taken him as a clerk, but our Bill wanted the best. Commandos are nothing for him.
Just like his colonel.
Worshipped him, he did. All the lads of the club do.
When your son was arrested, he had valuable wristwatch.
I know what you're getting at, but he got that watch honest. Won it fair and square at the club.
I see. Athletic contest.
Dunno. All I know is he won it.
Who taught your son judo?
Judo? What's that?
Doesn't matter.
It's the colonel.
Say, Pop, I think that maybe...
It is most unwise to think out loud in strange surroundings.
Oh, all right.
This gentleman here's Mr. Chan, Colonel. He's just come from Scotland Yard about our bill.
Oh, well, my name is Arthur Ross, Mr. Chan.
Oh, a great pleasure. My son. Hi.
How do you do? I just stopped in to see if there was anything I could do, Mr. Shaw. Oh, and I've asked my own lawyers to take on his case.
He don't need no lawyers, Colonel. Thanking you all the same. You get a fair shake from the law. If he's done wrong, he'll have to pay.
But, Mr. Shaw, he's your son.
If he's done wrong, he'll have to pay.
My humble apologies, Mr. Shaw, but I would suggest you accept generous offer for legal aid for your son.
I'm glad you agree, Mr. Chan. Here's my card. Anything I can do, please call on me.
Thank you, Carrol. I shall. And now, good day, gentlemen.
Afraid I can't help you much, Mr. Chan. Bill Shaw isn't any angel, of course. But then none of the youngsters in this part of the world are.
Still, I find it very strange that young man so interested in sports devoted to his club should suddenly go off the rails.
Doesn't seem as if we're very successful, does it? But remember, we keep a couple of hundred kids off the streets at night, Mr. Chan. And even if a tenth of them turn out to be decent citizens eventually, we do a good job.
Please believe me, there was no criticism implied. I have the greatest respect for your endeavors.
Oh, hello, James. This is Mr. Chan, Mr. Collins, one of our volunteer workers. Pleased to meet you. I suppose it's about young Shaw, Mr. Chan. It was a terrible shock to us here.
I would appreciate an opinion on boy's character.
The opinion I had was obviously wrong. I'd have staked my life. However, there it is. We get used to disappointment here. It couldn't have happened at a worse time, pardon?
The fundraising campaign.
Yes, such shockingly bad publicity for our work.
We'll survive. You see, I have a stubborn belief in the eventual triumph of good over evil.
I, too, have that belief, Padre, but sometimes belief is not sufficient. One must fight. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Hi, Pop. I just left the reference library. I went through the whole Army list for way back. And you know what? Colonel Arthur Ross of the Commandos was killed 5 years ago. Isn't that something?
Allow me to congratulate you, my son. You are improving. I shall try to meet seemingly bogus colonel for a friendly drink.
Just because a foolish boy gets into a mess, there's no reason for you to suggest that the club is full of criminals.
But I understand young man spent most of his leisure time in club. Possibly he came under bad influence.
Pop means it could be a kind of school for crime. You know, like in Oliver Twist.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Nevertheless, I shall keep my son's suggestion very much in mind. It's most interesting, also most possible.
I agreed to come here to try and help you. Not to listen to the ravings of a lunatic. Good day, sir.
Gee, he sure blew up, didn't he?
Strategy worked very well. It is said that behind face of anger is often face of fear. Oh, I must purchase this from waiter.
What are you going to do with the glass, Pop?
Take it to police laboratory at Scotland Yard. It will furnish most excellent specimen of bogus colonel's fingerprints.
You mean see if he's got a record under some other name?
Exactly.
Swell. And say, Pop, I got an idea.
Oh?
Why don't I get in to see young Bill Shaw? He's about my age. Maybe he'd talk to me. What do you say, Pop?
I can see ex-Chinese policemen will soon be able to turn over reins to number one son.
You mean I can?
Well, first, I must offer you some suggestions as to trend of conversation to be used with young men. Now, you listen carefully.
See here, Bill. Why don't you get wise? Tell him who put you up to it and make it easy for yourself.
Keep talking if you want to. I can't stop you.
Oh, Bill, don't be like that. I want to help you. Honest, I do.
I'm listening.
Suppose that bank messenger dies. Maybe you won't feel so good when the hangman's on his way.
He ain't gonna die. I didn't hit him hard enough. Besides, I let him out of hospital today. That surprised you, didn't it? Well, I've got friends, Mr. Chan. Real friends. I keep in touch.
I'll take a bet they won't be waiting around when you get out of prison.
I ain't going to prison, Sonny. Juvenile first offender, I am. They tell me some of them reform schools is just dandy.
18 last week, weren't you? That makes you an adult. It won't be reform school for you. It'll be prison. You won't get a day less than 5 years for what you did.
It's the truth, I never thought about my birthday. No, they wouldn't give me 5 years.
Don't kid yourself, Bill. Robbery with violence? Lucky if you don't get 7. I saw Colonel Ross today, leaving for South America next week.
What? You're a liar.
Okay, I'm a liar. But he's leaving just the same. Ever wonder why he didn't put up bail for you? Who says crime doesn't pay? Seems to pay off for the top boys, okay? But it's suckers like you who do the paying. Well, so long, Bill.
Colonel Ross? But this is incredible, Mr. Jane. Colonel Ross, that fine man, a common thief and imposter?
It's true, James. I looked at the army list myself. Colonel Ross is dead, killed in Africa.
I can't believe it. Such splendid work he did here. Why, it was he who made me take an interest. He's one of the depositors in my bank, you know. A most respected client.
What is this plan you mentioned, Mr. Chan?
I have a strong feeling if you could get young Bill Shaw released on bail, he might lead us to the colonel. Also to the money.
I see. But wouldn't it be an added difficulty if the lad got into any worse trouble if he were free?
I'd like to help the lad.
I too, but no, it's a grave responsibility.
He won't get a chance to do anything wrong. I'll be tailing him the minute he leaves Brixton.
If the real criminal were caught, it would go easier for Bill, wouldn't it?
I am quite certain it would.
Colonel Ross? Don't be crazy.
I tell you, he sent your boy to do that job.
I thought that was true.
Look in your bookcase. You'll find a copy of the Pathfinder. The plans for holding up the bank are in it. In the Colonel's writing. Brixton Police. There's a drunk post out bottom of Brixton Yard. Yeah, out cold.
Yes, he's drunk, all right. But Young's there at the bottom. Come on.
It's quite a file, Charlie. Listen to this. William Garden, that's his real name. 52 years old. 1925, convicted London Sessions, attempted fraud. Confidence trick. 1926, fraud, embezzlement. And to think he was accepted as a solid citizen by a respectable charity group. Makes you think, doesn't it? Inspector Mohr? What? Thanks, I see. Okay, I'll make a note of it. That fool padre down at St. Mark's went and bailed young Shaw out an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Well, you look very smug about it. You know he was going to?
Clever placement of bait by fishermen often lands large, juicy mackerel.
Juicy mackerel called Ross, eh? Well, it's true we can't touch him, not a shred of real evidence.
Yeah, but I have reason to believe young Shaw now suspects Colonel of double-cross in proceeds of bank robbery.
I'm not sure I like it. That kid's tough. Oland.
Yes, but Kid is now being tailed by a guardian angel in person of #1 son.
Therefore, with your permission, I suggest we pay urgent visit to bogus Colonel and witness showdown.
Okay, Charlie, let's go.
Scotland Yard, give me Inspector Marlowe, please. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, wait a minute. He knows me. I'm Barry Chan. We'll find someone. It's urgent.
You've had your chance, chum. That's it.
But, officer, I'm not drunk. I'm doing a job for the police.
That's right, that's right. Now, you come along with me and we'll find you a nice, cozy, comfy bed. Come on.
Where we going?
Here,
No.
here, come on, get in there.
I tell you, I'm doing a job.
Ah, sure. Thought we'd find you here. Where's your boss?
Look, mister, I didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't me what done it. Honest.
Inspector.
Look, you got to believe me. I didn't do it. I swear I didn't.
He's dead.
It was dead when I got here.
Okay, sure. You better come along.
It was dead when I got here, I tell you. You got to believe me.
You and your guardian angel.
Look, I swear I didn't do it. I didn't have anything to do with it. It was dead when I got here. I swear.
Have you read the statement, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to add? Okay, sign that.
You do believe me, don't you? I didn't kill him. Straight, I didn't.
It's not me that has to believe you. It's the jury. Well, the kid's in a fine mess now, isn't he?
Yes, possibly. But I am unable to understand prolonged silence of my son.
Don't worry, Charlie. It might have worked. Come in. Now, here's the autopsy report. It's as we thought when we saw the body, Charlie. Ross died of a broken neck. Johnson, send the boy's father in, will you?
All right, sir.
He's been waiting outside for the last 3 hours. I'm Inspector Marlowe, Mr. Shaw.
Where's my boy?
I'm afraid we're holding him for the murder of Colonel Ross.
Murder? I want to make a statement. I killed him. I killed the colonel.
Now, I'm a father myself, Mr. Shaw. I know how you feel, but a confession without evidence is no use.
That good enough for you? See my knuckles? Skin raw on that phony that called himself a colonel. I killed him, Inspector, not my boy. Want me to describe the room? Green carpet, brocade chairs, desk by the window, mirror over the mantelpiece.
All right. I'll take your statement, Mr. Shaw. Now, you go and get some sleep, Mr. Shaw. I'll see you before court.
Sentimental sacrifice is not very helpful in solving criminal problem, Inspector.
Yes, it's probably a phony confession anyway, but I had to take it.
But very frequently, distraught father beats up man who leads his son astray. But to break his neck, this is not easy even for an expert. You observed, Inspector, bruise on deceased throat caused by a blow which snapped vertebrae of neck. This reveals use of karate blow, known only to advanced experts in judo.
Well, young Bill Shaw knows judo. He used it to knock out the payroll messenger.
Young Shaw, not experienced or old enough to be possessor of black belt.
What's that?
Degrees in ancient art of judo are indicated by color of belt worn by contestant. Black belt is highest honor. And I believe in court of law, I could prove karate cut used to kill Colonel was known only to possessor of black belt.
Well, how do we find this judo expert?
There may be ways. In the Orient, experts in the karate cut are required to register hands with police as deadly weapons.
So now we look for an Oriental.
No, many Westerners have achieved great success in the skill of judo. Unfortunately, however, their hands are not registered with Scotland Yard.
Which puts us right back where we started.
If traffic becomes puzzlingly heavy, sometimes indirect route leads more quickly to destination. Oh, Inspector. I should like to borrow Dead Man's safety deposit box keys for a while.
What for, Charlie?
Oh, perhaps we can unlock some past of the false military hero.
Go ahead. Come and look at the view, Charlie. The drunk special.
Well, most unusual vehicle for my #1 son to be traveling in.
As a guardian angel, his halo slipped a bit.
He may have many follies, Inspector, but I doubt that he has succumbed to alcohol. I shall be interested to hear his story.
And that's how it was, Pop. Honest. I never saw what hit me. Right on the neck. Oh, I must have been out for at least, hours.
No, let me see your neck, please. Yes, judo blow. Small pieces of jigsaw puzzle now falling into place. Come.
Most irregular, Mr. Chan. If it weren't for Scotland Yard, most irregular.
But hold-ups of banks also most irregular.
You really think you'll find the money in there, Pop?
I do not think, only hope. Oh, thank you. Empty. When was Colonel last here?
The day of the robbery, as a matter of fact.
Has he been back since without your knowledge?
Oh, certainly not. We have a system. I check it myself. Well, naturally, the safe deposit custodian has access.
Please. Name of custodian.
James Collins.
Oh, you mean man who is so interested in underprivileged boys?
Yes, indeed. An example to all of us.
I am following indirect route, trying to capture criminal. Would therefore appreciate privilege of investigating file of bank employees.
Of course.
Come in. Ah, Mr. Chen. Just straightening out the accounts, you see. What can I do for you?
I think perhaps I can do something for you.
For me?
Point out disadvantages of art of judo and murder.
The least idea what you're talking about.
I mean, marks on judo victim are as distinctive as fingerprints.
What do you mean?
That death achieved by you on person of late unlimited Colonel Ross was accomplished by karate cut.
You're mad. Why should I kill him?
I have a theory you wish to avoid splitting up handsome profits from bank holdups.
Bank holdup?
Just one moment. When number one accomplice is dead, who would ever suspect upright, respected, full of good works bank official?
You better not start airing these theories of yours elsewhere, Chen. Remember, there is a law of slander.
Not just theories. I have cable checkup from Tokyo where you spent 5 years, British Provincial Bank. Also learn lethal hands of judo expert Collins are registered with Japanese police.
Is that all?
Having consulted young prisoner Bill Shaw, discovered you taught him art of judo for use in bank holdups, planned by deceased bogus colonel and yourself.
A very complete case, Mr. Chen. Unhappily for you.
You were great.
My son, like in life, judo has many degrees. Your unworthy father was first degree. Second class. Now telephone police for transportation for slumbering gentleman.
What kind of transportation?
Number one son's favorite vehicle, Black Mariah.
Hi, watch this famous Chinese mystery. See, this paper is absolutely blank, right?
Everybody knows Chinese inscrutable never show emotion. For example, this is how I look when very sad. This is how I look when very angry. This is how I look when you tune in again next week for another exciting story in New Adventures of Charlie Chan.